They called her an angel. But sometimes Hollywood creates an angel, just to hide a sin no one dares to name. The white light fell softly over Linda Evans' golden hair, a gentle smile, a tender gaze, a presence that made America believe kindness could still conquer deceit. In Dynasty, she became Crystal Carrington, the perfect wife, a symbol of virtue and grace in a glittering world built on illusion. In 1981, the show exploded across the globe. Linda was celebrated as America's television angel. But behind the glamorous posters, some whispered that her image had been deliberately crafted to conceal a secret, a scandal that once cracked the foundations of Hollywood itself. Linda didn't know that while she played the role of the cherished wife, Hollywood was using her face to atone for its own sins. And from that moment on, her destiny was no longer her own. It belonged to the story Hollywood wanted to tell, a story we're about to open for you, if you have the patience to stay until the end. Because sometimes the truth doesn't live in the light, it hides in what the light works hardest to conceal. In 1981, Dynasty appeared on television like a gilded dream of the 1980s. Lights shimmered, crystal shattered across ballroom floors, and silk gowns twirled through frames as if all of America was being invited to dream of luxury. At the heart of that dream was Linda Evans. As Crystal Carrington, she moved through a world of power and deceit with gentle eyes and a voice as soft as comfort itself. She was the devoted wife, the woman who always chose forgiveness, and audiences believed in her as if she were one of the last symbols of goodness left in Hollywood. But behind the glitter, there was another truth. Some said Crystal wasn't just a character, but a carefully crafted symbol, a figure created by the powerful men of the entertainment industry to wash away the stains of scandal, betrayal, and greed. She was the angel Hollywood built so people would forget the sins hiding beneath its golden glow. And Linda, standing beneath those perfect studio lights, never realized she was playing not the woman she truly was, but the one Hollywood needed her to be. What do you think about this? And let us know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the stories hidden behind the brightest lights of Hollywood before she became the Angel of Dynasty. Linda Evans was just little Linda Evanstad, born in 1942 in Connecticut, the daughter of two professional dancers. Unlike her parents, Linda feared crowds, feared being watched, and even feared the sound of her own voice. One of her teachers suggested she take acting classes as a form of therapy, and through that, she discovered a place where she could hide behind a mask, yet still be seen. Linda fell in love with the stage, with the feeling of becoming someone else, if only to forget who she was. But when the bright lights of Dynasty shone directly on her face, she still never truly believed she was beautiful. Colleagues recalled that between takes, she would often sit in silence for minutes at a time, as if she were hiding from the camera's gaze. Some said her portrayal of Crystal Carrington felt painfully real, because Linda wasn't acting at all. She was simply channeling her own fears. The fear of being hurt, the fear of not being enough, and the haunting fear that when the lights finally went out, she would disappear as if she had never existed. In 1968, as the lights of Hollywood began to shine her way, Linda Evans met John Derek, a handsome director 16 years her senior. To Linda, he was a mentor, a protector, someone who could guide her through the glittering chaos of fame. But to Derek, she may have been something else, a work of art, a masterpiece he longed to perfect. Those close to them recalled how Derek controlled every detail of Linda's image. Her hair, her smile, even the way she entered a frame. He once told her, "The light only loves those who know how to command it." And Linda believed him. She became softer, quieter, molding herself into the vision he designed. People began calling her the living statue. Sculpted by passion, yet trapped in the hands of the artist who shaped her. And under the golden lights, when Derek whispered, "Smile," Linda did. It was flawless, the kind of smile Hollywood adored. But behind it lingered a quiet fear. The fear of a woman who realized she was no longer a person, but a creation. In 1973, the name Bo Derek began appearing next to John Derek across every headline. The 18-year-old girl with innocent blue eyes had replaced Linda. Once considered Hollywood's ideal woman, Linda read the news in silence. No tears, no anger, only an emptiness no one could see. John left, taking with him the world she once trusted. The press called it America's most beautiful betrayal. But what they didn't mention was how quietly Hollywood turned its back on her, too. Some say a few studios helped launch Bo's career. They needed a new face, younger, bolder, fit for the rising wave of sensual cinema. Linda, the symbol of grace, suddenly became out of fashion. No one fired her, but every door closed softly. In a quiet room, she looked into the mirror. The reflection was still hers, but the light of Hollywood had shifted, and it no longer shone her way. After the storm of scandal, Linda Evans chose silence. She left the film sets, closed every door, and disappeared from the lights that had once adored her. The days after her divorce passed slowly. Travel, books, long afternoons with no scripts, no cameras. She told a friend she just wanted to learn how to exist when no one's watching. Hollywood quickly forgot the woman who had once defined its ideal of grace. Yet, in that calm darkness, something felt strange. People whispered that Linda began receiving anonymous calls. Cold, quiet voices that never said a name, only repeated one warning: don't say anything more. No one knew who they were or what she heard. But from that day on, she never spoke John Derek's name again. Some believed her silence was dignity. Others whispered it was a bargain. The price of peace in an industry that knew how to bury everything, including the truth. In 1981, when Dynasty premiered, people said, "Hollywood has brought Linda Evans back." After years of silence, she returned radiant and poised, transforming into Crystal Carrington, the embodiment of grace and forgiveness in a world of wealth and deceit. A year later, she won the Golden Globe. But Hollywood rarely gives without taking something in return. Whispers spread that Dynasty wasn't just a show. It was the industry's act of redemption, a way to cleanse the very stains it had created. Crystal Carrington, the gentle, betrayed wife who forgave, seemed to mirror Linda herself. Her return wasn't just a comeback. It was a performance in Hollywood's own ceremony of forgiveness. An angel granted a second chance, yet once again turned into an image she never chose to be. On screen, Crystal Carrington and Alexis Colby were opposites: light and shadow, angel and witch. Every time they met, audiences held their breath. Silk dresses swirled, glasses shattered, words cut like knives. Dynasty was no longer just a show. It was a battlefield of two icons where every glance and gesture carried power. Linda Evans and Joan Collins created one of television's most legendary rivalries. But what fascinated viewers most was what Hollywood tried to hide. The feud wasn't only fiction. Behind the scenes, rumors said the studio lights burned brighter for Joan, while Linda always got the better camera angle. They supposedly clashed over costumes, lines, even a single look that didn't make the final cut. And that famous wine-throwing scene? Some swore it wasn't acting at all. Amid the laughter and glamour, something real pulsed beneath the surface. Two women, two worlds, and one Hollywood that knew how to turn tension into gold. When When Dynasty reached the height of its glory, Linda Evans became the face every magazine wanted on its cover. She worked 14-hour days, then flew straight to photo shoots for perfume, fashion, and jewelry campaigns. The image of Crystal Carrington didn't just live on television. It was everywhere across America, in store windows, on billboards, in the dreams of millions. But behind that brilliance, her body began to rebel. A photographer once recalled that Linda collapsed in the makeup room, yet the crew didn't dare stop filming. Someone whispered, "Crystal can't be tired." When she woke, Linda looked in the mirror and saw a face hidden beneath layers of makeup, eyes widened by caffeine and pressure. People say that was the moment she realized Hollywood no longer needed Linda Evans. It only needed Crystal Carrington. No one asked if she was happy, only that she kept smiling. Because in this city of lights, perfection isn't optional. It's the law. And its price is always the same: the soul of the woman who stands beneath the spotlight. When Dynasty ended, Linda Evans closed a chapter of her life. She walked away from the lights, the parties, and the cameras that had followed her for 2 decades, leaving behind only a small note that read, "I just want to breathe." Then she vanished north, to Washington, where pine forests lie under snow and the silence is deep enough to hear your own heartbeat. There, Linda began again, meditating, eating clean, and writing about health and balance. But Hollywood never forgets those who walk away. Rumors spread that Linda had joined the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, a spiritual community that believes people can connect with ancient energies. No one knew what she sought there, only that she often appeared dressed in white, her eyes calm and distant. A journalist once wrote, "Maybe she's not crazy. Maybe she's just searching for a place Hollywood can't reach." And perhaps, in that quiet mountain home, Linda finally found what fame could never give her: peace and the freedom to simply be. In 1991, during a rare interview, Linda Evans sat before the camera. No silk gown, no stage lights, just her and a small tape recorder on the table. Her voice was soft but steady. "I've recorded everything because I don't want anyone to tell my story wrong." After that interview, Linda never mentioned the tape again. No one has ever seen it. A former assistant once said it's locked in a safe inside her Washington home, to be opened only after her death. Fans believe that tape holds her final truths about Hollywood, about what she witnessed behind the lights and cameras. Some say it's not a confession, but a prayer from a woman who had grown too tired of lies. And perhaps even now, that tape still lies there, untouched and silent. Like Linda Evans herself, the woman once created to keep quiet for an entire industry. Some people spend their whole lives seeking revenge, while others choose forgiveness, not out of weakness, but because they understand that peace is the only true way to heal. Linda Evans was one of the latter. Despite the betrayal, she never spoke ill of anyone. When Bo Derek publicly apologized, Linda simply smiled and said, "No one can steal anyone, only those who choose to leave." A close friend once shared that in her small home in Washington, Linda still keeps the first letter John Derek ever wrote to her, framed behind glass, with 3 words written beneath it: "I forgive you." Those 3 words became her declaration. In a Hollywood built on payback and pride, Linda chose to let go. And perhaps that's what made her different. A soul that never burned out when the lights went dark. For her, forgiveness wasn't the end. It was freedom. Linda Evans now lives quietly among the pine forests of Washington, where the sky is so blue that people easily forget she was once one of Hollywood's brightest stars. From time to time, she still appears at charity events, still wears that serene smile, still carries the elegance of the Dynasty angel. But the light around her has changed, no longer the blinding glare of fame, but the soft glow of peace slipping gently through her window. Friends say Linda sometimes replays old episodes of Dynasty, not out of nostalgia, but to look back at the woman Hollywood created out of her own pain. On screen is Crystal Carrington, gentle, forgiving, almost too perfect to be real. And in the quiet of the room sits Linda, the real woman, calm, no longer blinded by the spotlight. Some say the only thing she never forgave was that the world only knew her through one role. If Crystal Carrington was the angel Hollywood created to hide its sins, did Linda Evans ever truly escape those wings? Share your thoughts below, because sometimes it's the audience who holds the final piece of truth.